just joining us, hold on a second. I need something to clean this windshield off. Just thought about that. It's a mess. Okay, all right, we're gonna get this started. Do we have audio? Yep. Okay, all right, we're gonna get this started. Oh, we gotta have an echo here for a second. Ah! Oh, geez. Sorry, I thought all these people were going to come talk. I'm just not in a social mood. We're going to get into some stuff here, guys. Just need a little bit of respect for the... I have earned the I'm antisocial right now. Just not in the mood, so... We have some really crappy audio right now. I'm really sorry, guys. I can't do anything about it. I don't know where the wireless mics went. When we stop, I'll take a look. We're going to go... retrieve the rapid deployment devices. I think they're like 20 minutes away. Aiden's over here. He's asleep. Can I not get out over here? I will drive over this effing curve. I am so over this. This freaking maze. This was a freaking real pity and a half here earlier this morning. When it's freaking dark out and half these lights were off. Like, oh my God, you should have seen me trying to find a freaking parking spot a couple hours ago, but no, a big appreciation post for
Channel 1.
For yeah, he's there. There's the Buick. Well, we're not gonna wake him up. We're just gonna go get the devices. One of the devices is his, but we're just gonna go get it because he's running on less sleep than we are, or I am. So let's just go get the damn shit. If you're interested in what happened last night, I have crafted an official statement that respects privacy and appropriately communicates the, I guess, emotions of an event like this. It's pinned in the YouTube comments. Like, it's pinned. You'll see it. It's the top. It's the Facebook post. Just go take a look. What are these guys doing? Blocking the whole freaking road. I want to address a couple of things. We'll go on a little bit because I know people want answers. I've scrubbed the live streams. They're not available anymore. You cannot even watch those streams because there was a lot of radio traffic last night, well, 6 hours ago, that I don't think really needed to be broadcast, and that radio traffic came from me discussing coroner requests and addresses and injuries, and I don't think that that's what we want on YouTube. In the moment, it's news, but after the fact, it's not great. So we're going to get on 94. We're going to go over toward Erickson. Between here and Jamestown, we're going to get the rapid deployment devices, retrieve those, and then we're going to go, I think we're probably going to go take a look at some of the damage because I, for myself, want to know, it's kind of like a debriefing critical incident thing. I want to know the extent of how wide this path was. I want to see how bad the damage, like I want to know everything about this tornado that was a violent killer tornado last night. I need to know why it did this. We need to look at this from an engineering and a meteorology standpoint and look at why, what happened, how wide, was this thing huge, what path did it take? We need to know every detail about this thing. And we have access to the area. We worked with the sheriff's department all night. They are They've actually requested that I show up to their debrief. We have some fantastic community members in this area down there, and we need to kind of keep them in mind here. But again, my official statement is basically all I'm gonna say. Everything's a mess right now, but understand this used to be my life every day. This used to be my life, and it's just a grim reminder of how fragile things are. Just remember that, folks. So we are headed out of Valley City. A lot of these areas don't have power. What happened is we had a severe weather outbreak. I'm not going to say tornado outbreak because I don't think it was a bunch of tornadoes. I think it was like 4 or 5. But we had some tornadoes last night, and of course we had those 90-mile-an-hour winds that wiped out power. A bunch of tornadoes, I think it was like. And again, sorry about the audio being not as good as it should be here. I would like to make a couple of mentions here. Basically what had happened, the initial scene that we responded to, we came across the 2 partial building collapses. Thankfully, there were no concerning injuries there. The only injuries we had were, cuts, scrapes, moderate bleeds, nothing that's threatening. Obviously, that's good. It was more concerned of extricating people, and then we had to literally have a rodeo. So what you guys probably didn't know while we were live streaming is we were literally lassoing a pig. I'm not kidding. Somebody showed up with a lasso and lassoed a pig. It was quite interesting, as you can imagine. I think my door might be ajar, but it was just an incredible event last night. We'll call that, but. You have to understand too that it's not just human life that matters. It's animals, and yes, it's a pig, but it's somebody's pet, and we had to make sure the cat was okay, and the chickens and goats. These are somebody's pets, and you can't just turn away and walk away from that. And another chaser, like I said, that stopped was Brian Empfinger, and he put a lot of work into trying to help secure these animals, and I have a lot of respect for that. And of course, Connor McCrory showed up. I think we need to give some credit where credit's due to some of these, quality people that do good work and show up when needed to help. Those are the kind of people we need to follow. Those are the people that we need to give some attention to. And unfortunately, the second scene that we went to last night, it's already been announced, apparently, from what I've been told in the past 45 minutes from a phone call, is family's been notified, it's public. I'm not naming names, we're not going to put names, but it's already hit the news even. But we know of 3 fatalities from last night. Unfortunately, the 2 fatalities that became part of my incident, I guess I'm not going to, you guys can read between the lines here, but I've worked many, and I will get to why I'm saying this. This is a little bit grim, but I think it's important that we acknowledge these things, people. I've worked, in 2014, I started a career in public safety. On an ambulance, on the fire department, telecommunications, all that. I was in it. I have seen hundreds, if not thousands, of car accidents, farm accidents, machinery accidents, industrial accidents, gunshot wounds, failed suicide attempts, attempted murders, all sorts of horrible, horrible things, and nothing stacks up to the terror that I have seen after tornadoes hit people. The human body or the animal body is absolutely nothing of a match for high velocity debris traveling at 200, 250, 300 miles an hour. I'm obviously, out of respect for the deceased last night, we're not going to talk about that on a live stream, but I read between the lines, folks. I have never seen such terror after any sort of incident as I have with tornado strikes, whether it was Silver City, Rolling Fork, Lewin, Mississippi, last night, whatever town that was. These tornadoes kill people, and they are honestly some of the most terrifying things ever, and I wish that I could get more respect from these young buck storm chasers with the bro attitude that just drive into these tornadoes all willy-nilly. They have not seen with their eyes the slaughtering that a tornado can do to a body. And that is the perfect example. It is a slaughtering. And they have no respect for it, and somebody's going to get hurt. That's why I take the stance that I do. And I share this stuff with you folks because I'm trying to encourage you. The next time you have a tornado coming for your home, tornado warning, whatever, even if you think it's bogus and it's not coming for you, because 9 times out of 10 it's not. Just please, I am honest to God begging you, as somebody who's taken time out of your day to watch this live stream, that means you're valuable enough to take this advice. For the love of God, please, for fuck's sakes, take some sort of action. I understand you can't shelter every time there's a severe thunderstorm warning, but for the love of God, I am begging you and your family and your friends to please just do something other than sit there. You know, have a weather radio. Have a way to get woken up at night. These storms slaughter people. And that there's no other way to put it. That's what it is. That's what I've seen out of these storms, is a slaughtering. I don't know what else to tell you. We don't have intact body recoveries. We have parts and pieces scattered all over. I don't know how else to put it any more plainly than to get people to get the message. Please, I'm begging you, people. I understand it's not cool. Oh, there's a tornado warning. Let's go sit in the basement for 45 minutes. I understand that's not practical. But for the love of God, please, have your radar app. Have your weather radio. Have James Spann or Jim Cantori on the TV. I don't care. For the love of God, just be mindful that when that thing is in proximity to your house, just please do something. Like anything. Drive away from it. Go to shelter. I don't care what the hell you do, but please just don't be a sitting duck. Because I know it, you know, oh, I've seen the storm chasers drive into these all the time. It's just wind. You're right. It's just wind. Throwing debris and washing and drying machines a quarter of a mile. I'm not joking. I witnessed this. A dryer a quarter of a mile. You know how heavy a freaking dryer is? You know how many people it took to get my dryer in my house? Like 3 people. They sling those a quarter of a mile. Imagine what it's doing when it's picking up a shovel, a rake, you know, a fork, a 2x4, and slinging it through the air at 200, 250, 300 miles an hour. You're not going to survive that. End of story. And we have to realize that and respect that. I respect that more so every day that I'm out here. If I can do that and it's my job to drive up to these things, then please, like, part of what bothers me in the weather community is how condescending some meteorologists can be and be like, oh, well, you need to seek shelter because I said so. No, you don't need to seek shelter because Mike Morgan said so or whatever. No, you need to seek shelter because it's what's best for you. I understand it's not what you want to do with your day and people's time is valuable and all that sorts of things, but we've seen time and time again that if you don't shelter, oftentimes the ending is not a positive thing. But on a positive note, if you take some sort of shelter, I forgot, and there is an actual figure, like a percentage figure out there. Almost everybody that seeks some sort of shelter during a tornado survives, even if it's a direct hit. Whether that's an interior closet, a basement, a bathtub on the lowest floor, something like that. Nearly everybody that seeks shelter in an appropriate form survives. So, like, please take the extra 30 seconds and go somewhere. And if you don't want to be home, you can leave. You know, if the news is saying, hey, there's a tornado 15 minutes away and it's coming toward your house, you can leave and drive away. I get a lot of scrutiny for that. And here, look at that. We've got a bunch of semis overturned from last night. This is from the 90 mile an hour wind gusts, folks. It's not just tornadoes, it's wind. But I get a lot of scrutiny on the internet when I say it's okay to leave. Because, you're not safe on the road. You're only safe in a shelter. Okay. But realistically, folks, if I've got 15 minutes to drive away from an F5 wedge tornado coming directly for my house, I think I can make it. if it's moving at freaking 5 miles an hour. Like, sometimes you have to do what makes the most sense, and I understand going to the basement doesn't always make the most sense. We're adults, we're humans, we're adaptive, we're smart, we can handle this. You have to make whatever decision is right for you. You've got to have just a little bit of education with severe weather, you know, and you can get that very easily, folks. You know, watch these live streams, you know, watch the Weather Channel. I don't know, Google it. You can absolutely get the minimum required amount of weather education to survive these things in about 20 minutes. You know, and I promise I will do a better job of communicating that. You know, we probably all should. You know, I don't see the Ryan Halls, or frankly, I don't even see the Weather Channel actually educating people beyond putting an infographic on the screen and saying, oh, hey, by the way, go to the basement. No, we're going to do, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of, I don't know, it's going to be Span or Tim Marshall or a civil engineer or somebody, a spokesperson at the Weather Service. I want to do actual education for you folks, so you guys know how to make a decision that's right for your family, whether you're sheltering, you're leaving the area, you know, what your shelter is, etc. That's what our next step is going to be, and we are going to prioritize that and accomplish that by the end of the year, because I'm starting to realize that I think a lot of people just don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know, if that makes sense. And we have to start making sure everybody knows the threats that are out there when it comes to weather. So we're going to go retrieve these units, and then we're going to go and try to look at some of the damage that we can locate out here, because I think that it's important to follow up on this from a kind of not only like a news and journalism standpoint, but also understanding what happened. Not chasing today, no. We are retrieving and tying up loose ends. No, I agree with the comment from Blue Ocean. No, that's kind of where I'm at also. There's a lot of people that are armchair experts, and they don't understand how to operate in these situations. You know, we have a team of individuals behind the scenes and in the field that do. I think it's this exit. I think we need to take this one. I don't know which device this is, but we got to go up the road a little ways. I think this is the first one. No, is this the one that I put out? I don't know. I don't have it labeled. We'll figure it out as we go. Your guess is as good as mine, people. RDD number 3 is actually still transmitting. The other two, the batteries just died. But RDD number 3 is actually transmitting. You can go look at it in the Radar Omega app if you would like. We're going to kind of retrace our steps and kind of make sense of this, because we actually had a live stream failure in the car. And, you know, basically what happened is there was a chaser traffic jam. And I'll go ahead and put names out there. You know, I don't really care. But there was somebody in front of Copic, and Copic was trying to avoid him, and that guy in front of him caused a backup, and I think the guy in front of him had no idea that there was a tornado right there because he was filming out the left side of his freaking car, and I think Copic was trying to go around him, and that made no room for me, and I'm getting pissed off because we gotta go. Well, this guy finally realized, oh shit, there's a tornado back here. That's why these guys are trying to nose through. Everybody gets around him, and then we can go, but during that whole ordeal, there was so much slamming on our brakes trying to get around this guy that everything in the passenger seat went flying, and that unplugged all my shit. I did not get all of it plugged back in time and rebooted. That's why you missed a lot of that tornado. But what I did do was I haphazardly held a DJI action camera out the window and pointed it behind me, and it actually got some really incredible close range video of that tornado. But I don't think it's in good taste for me to post that for a couple of days because of what's happened overnight. So we're just going to hold off on that because we've got a really sensitive situation out here, at least in my opinion. We'll just hold off on that because I don't want to look like we're celebrating any of this, because I'm not. I wish this never would have happened. You know, I wish yesterday would have been a bust, and I wish that some of these people were still going home to families today. It's really unfortunate that things happen this way. You know, I'm not religious, but they say everything happens for a reason. Whatever the hell you believe in, I don't know what reasonable reason there would be that this deadly event would happen last night, but it happened. It's terrible. And I think we need to quite literally take our hats off and give these people a moment of respect. Whether it's the locals, the responders, anything, the telecommunicators, I don't know, but guys, we had the Cass County Sheriff's Department out there last night, completely overwhelmed, like to the point where they weren't really responding to help because they couldn't. And I'm not going to exactly go into what I had to do last night because it's not really my place to broadcast it. But what I will tell you folks, hey, I think I see the deployment device up there. What I will tell you folks, oh my God, is this train derailed? No way. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the never mind. It's the way the sun, I thought this train was, it's fine. But what I want to say is, I don't know if it was the undersheriff or chief deputy or whatever the hell he was, as I was leaving the scene, came up to me and said something to me that I probably, in my career in the ambulance, I probably should have said to more people. And he shook my hand and he looked at me and, you know, he paused and he said, "Do you need to talk to somebody?" Like, no, man, you know what? Unfortunately, this ain't the first time. Of course, I asked him the same, and that kind of really sat with me because that's something that I probably should have asked people that I worked with way more. And, you know, if we've got any other healthcare workers, public safety out here, cops, firefighters, EMS, I don't give a shit what you are. Please make sure that you do ask each other that, because these things, like I said, these storms quite literally slaughter bodies. These are sights that nobody should be seeing, and somebody has to go out and see them. And it's not a normal human experience to survive, or I'm sorry, to live, to have to deal with something like this. It's not something that anybody is comfortable with, and nobody should really be comfortable with. You know, I see our deployment device has been turned 180 degrees by the wind. That's interesting. Let me see if I can get the hat camera working. Are you kidding me, man? Gosh damn it, I was so excited to have this hat camera and the battery died. I might frickin' cry right now. I'm probably gonna frickin' cry. My damn hat camera's dead. Let me just go snag this this unit real quick. I'm going right over there. All right, I don't even know what unit that is, but it's retrieved. Anyway, okay. So just for your recap, folks, this was the road we started out on. The tornado was literally like right over there, and it was huge. This was where the equipment failure had occurred. Did I go south? I did, and then I went south back to 94. But there's a lot of tree damage off here to my south and my southwest, but that's all RFD. It's straight line winds. The tornado passed just a little bit north. In fact, this unit actually live streamed it into the Radar Omega app. If you guys look back at Radar Omega's social media, this did not get a direct hit, but it came very close. We were hoping for a direct hit, but that's okay. It didn't happen. But so you guys can go back and take a look at some of this, but that stuff down there, that's straight line wind. We've got some damage to the train signals here. I don't know if we can locate where the tornado crossed up here, but I'm going to attempt. So we're going to kind of do our own little damage survey here. Are you effing survey here? Are you effing? Hold on, do you got audio? No, you don't. Sorry about the audio loss. You've got to be kidding me. The freaking train thing. Zorro.com literally came down the second that I like, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah. Chew, yep, chew. He's running debris over. All right, I got an idea, and it does involve a little bit of speed, but I estimate that train to be traveling at about 35 miles an hour. No, that thing's moving like 25, so we should be able to beat it, because I really need to cross onto that side of the tracks, and I'm not waiting 3 years. I don't know if I can go south up here. Oh, there's not even a freaking road. Okay, well, hold on a minute. Oh, there's storm damage right there. All right, I don't want to hit the train. Train, where are you? Oh, you're way over there. All right. All right, we totally made it. We had like quarter mile to spare. Yeah, he's just now getting there. I want to take a look up here and see if we can find where that tornado crossed. Choo-choo. This windshield's a mess. I'm sorry. Because I left the wipers on last night and they kind of smeared everything. Let's go north. I think the damage path is north. Looks like maybe some damage to that road or that building. Siding damage. Doesn't look very serious though. It might be kind of tough to find the damage path. There's not a lot out here. I'm not going to try too hard on this one. Oh no. Yeah, see, there's a building hit. I think that's a machine shed or something. Might be a house. We're not going to zoom in and focus too much on this stuff. Yeah, here's the damage path right here. Because, you know, this is somebody's life. You know, we don't want to show detail. There's a trailer axle over here. See the trailer axle? That could have just been from a junk pile, though. Who knows? Doesn't necessarily mean it came from a trailer, you know what I mean? Yeah, that house is completely destroyed. That's unfortunate. Well, that answers that. Now we know where the tornado crossed. So we missed it on the deployment device by about a half a mile, which that's really not much. We did pretty good, I would say. I'm going to move the camera because it's kind of getting that snot in the shot here. We're going to flip around here. I just really wanted to know how far away we got that device deployed, and we were pretty damn close. I mean, a half a mile, guys, that's a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we really, ideally, we want to get those things hit by the tornado, but, you know, for data collection and video streaming and stuff, but, I mean, that's really, it's way, way, way easier said than done. You kidding me? No, I haven't gone to bed, guys. This is just how I operate. I used to run 24-hour shifts. Like, I don't, when something like this happens, it just bleeds into the next day. That's just kind of how it works. But yeah, Aiden's over there. I mean, there was nowhere to go last night, guys. Nothing had power. It was a mess. You know, we didn't get finished with our efforts last night until about 5 o'clock. Like, I literally just showed up at that Love's and basically started streaming again. Like, we haven't really had much. Yeah, I would estimate this that we probably missed by about half a mile. Actually, I can measure on Radar Omega. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 0.6 miles. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I don't think Sonic exists up here, do they? But anyway. Okay, so that's mystery number one. Now let's go get those other two units and kind of piece this puzzle together a little bit here. You know, I think this, like I said, I think this is important to do, to give people, you know, the Weather Service is going to come out and do their official damage survey, and they'll draw a nice track line on the map of where the tornado went and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, they will do a better job than I can do. They will do a better job than I can do. Hold on, guys. I don't know why this thing keeps switching to the other mic. I'm so sorry that it's turned off. But like he was saying, the National Weather Service is going to come out and do a much better job than I can do. You know, they'll piece together all the pieces for us. But I know, you know, people don't always have time to wait and stuff like that. So we're just kind of out here, you know, reporting what we can report. freaking back brakes are making noise on my car too. It's on the other side now though. I need to redo that caliper or something. God, that sun is bright. Holy cow. So this tornado most likely tracked just off to the left of the road. We're going east on wait a minute. We're going east on 33rd Street Southeast. The map box says this is Urbana, if that anybody rings a bell here. We're going east, and I think the tornado was likely just to the left of the road, so just to the north of the road, because I don't really see any damage to the south. But again, folks, like there's right here where it's wide open and there's not a whole lot. I mean, it's really hard to say, oh yeah, it was here, it was there, because vegetation and telephone poles don't give you a good idea of where a tornado went. It takes quite a bit of wind to knock over one of those phone poles because there's not a lot of wind load on it, you know? Not a lot of wind loading. So, just because the poles aren't broken, and if there's no trees or no buildings to hit, then it's, until you actually go out there and walk the path, it's very difficult to tell where the tornado actually went. Past 99 Avenue. And I don't see any tornado damage here at all. I don't know if the tornado was continuously down or if it was up and down or what, but I can't tell you. I don't see anything from here. Like the houses on this road, they're fine. So it's possible if that thing was tracking due east, which I kind of think it was, it just looks like a bunch of open fields up there. It really doesn't look like there's much to hit. And we got to deal with that train again. Oh no, we don't. It goes under or over a bridge. Thank God. I really didn't want to deal with that. Alright, now we're east passing 100 Avenue, which looks like a very poor dirt road. There's some very small tree damage, very light tree damage off to my left in this grove of trees, but that could just be from straight line wind. There's just some small branches down. It doesn't look that big of a deal, but again, I can only tell you what I can see from the road, you know. So we'll be coming up to 101 Street. Yeah, 101. It looks like it's also Highway 7. That rings a bell. So we'll go retrieve the one off to the north, which I believe is number 5. Yeah, it's number 4. So we'll go north and retrieve number 5. A couple of signs blown over. Again, I don't see anything crazy. I remember going through this town. You guys might remember there were some people going super slow, and I was like, guys, we're in the path of a tornado. We gotta go. Nobody was going. That's a big tree. I'm actually surprised that tree hasn't been cut yet. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually half tempted to cut that tree, but that is a huge freaking tree. Holy crap. That doesn't, I don't know if that's tornado damage or not. That's like the only tree that I see down over there. Oh, there's some trees down over there. There's a big pine tree down, but that's not, oh my God, it missed the house by like 2 feet. They got lucky. But I don't see that like widespread damage that you typically would see with a direct tornado strike. So I don't know if this was just the associated surface winds with the tornado or not. You know. guys, the mic might switch again here. Is it transmitting? It is. Alright. Let's see if we are transmitting on this mic here. It is. Great, so we can do the hat cam. That's good. RDD number 5 is somewhere around here. Whoa. That's not. A lot of little debris here, but that's all small stuff. Small tree branch down coming up right there. Grain elevator's okay. See, those trees are kind of messed up. But I don't see any sort of significant damage here. So either this thing was weak when it passed through here, or maybe it kind of threaded the needle between the buildings and stuff. I think we got to go down a little ways more because I think it was right after this farm because it's on that side of the road. But that's the thing with trying to piece together these damage surveys. Stupid mosquito. Get out of here. Hold on. There we go. Trying to piece together these damage surveys after these storms. You know, the National Weather Service has a really tough job to do when it comes to surveying these areas. It's really tough to, you know, put these pieces of the puzzle together sometimes. Yeah, I think it's on one of these poles up here. This is the one we deployed with this camera on my head. Worked out really well. I don't see anything off that way. I mean, if I see anything, I'll point it out to you guys, but this farm's not damaged. I was really worried that this farm was going to be in the path, because it looked like it was going to be. They got super lucky. Yeah, it's right there. Let's grab it. Hold on. Okay. Isn't this area under a big threat once again tomorrow? No, not really. Wow, it's actually super nice out. Alright, so this one, I am, oh Jesus, there's a hole there. But that looks like not going to be, no, I get stung, I'm allergic, I'll probably die. So, this one also got kind of side-swiped by some wind. So, it's that easy. Yeah, when we were, when I was deploying this, we had our main circulation over here, and then over there was a new tornado developing, and if you remember, I was running back to the car was parked right there, and Aiden gets on the radio and he's like, oh my god, there's another tornado, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I looked over those trees and there was definitely another tornado, and I was worried because I was calculating our risk assessment for the tornado over here, but we had this tornado over here, and if you guys notice, I don't have an east-west road until way down there. I was worried that that tornado down there, which would have been behind that farm, was going to cut off
our escape route to the north. And then the tornado down here, I couldn't tell how far away it was. It was far enough away, it wasn't a problem, but I was afraid that that tornado was going to cut off our escape route down there, and I honestly thought we were going to have to wait this out in the middle of these two, and that I don't like threading the needle like that. I'm not going to lie, guys, I was seriously contemplating if things got bad, just it slipped my mind. I thought, well, we could drive right on through the fucking field. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, guys. But I mean, I'm that serious. I mean, that came to my mind because I was looking over there. I'm like, is there a fence row? I got real nervous for a minute because this was a big circulation over here, and it was getting real close. It was probably right over by that farm. Yeah, you can see some tree damage over there. Well, you guys might not be able to, but I can. But there's some tree damage over there. I think it was sitting right there, and this other one looked way closer than it was because it was behind the trees. But it was actually down there over the interstate, so it was like 3 miles away, even though it looked like it was right here. So we were fine, but this is a mess.
All right, well, let's go attempt to find where Aiden put RDD number 3. I don't know how accurate the location is on that one. So there is a possibility that we might be looking for a good minute. Oh, this stupid thing. Just stop. Keep it straight. It just won't stay turned off. So we'll go down here and try to get it. I hope that it's placed exactly where it's at, but I mean, if it's not, we'll find it. That's why I didn't do that. I was gonna do this at like 4 o'clock this morning and get it done, but it's like, oh, it's not, it's dark out, the sun's not really up. I have a feeling it's gonna be hard to find these. But the good news is number 3, the battery is still good. So we can kind of make out what it might be pointing at. I think it's pointing northwest, and I can see a building in there, so I think we can make sense out of it. I do remember Aiden saying it was pointing northwest, so we should be able to make some sense out of this. Back to this little town. Again, I didn't really see much damage in this little community here, so that's good. Yeah, there's just very minimal damage in this little neighborhood. And like I said, I don't know if this might just be straight line wind damage. Because there was that initial, we had the wave of storms come through, and then later on we had the, anywhere between 80 and 100 mile per hour wind come through. So that came together incredibly volatile last night. That was something else, let me tell you. This is about the biggest tree down, you know, and it's not that terrible. It's not even that big of a tree. Looks kind of old and a little bit rotted. Yeah, it looks like everybody's without power here from what I can tell. I mean, gee, I wonder why. It's almost like tornadoes rolled through here. A lot of places without power from at least what I gathered last night when I kind of came up here. I think there's a lot of people without power. Right, I'm just going to keep an eye out because I think that building there is what number 3 is looking at. Actually, no, I think that grove of trees down there is what it's looking at, I think. No, did I pass it? No. What the hell did he put it in? It's not on, I don't think it's on a pole. I mean, I'm watching the camera now, so like if I see myself drive by it, we'll know that we're in the right spot. I wonder if it's pointed. Yeah, there's a building with like a brown roof. Yeah, it's right there. That's the building, I think. Okay, so we're very close to it because I just passed the building it's looking at. The location on this one, I think it's very close to accurate, but it's a little bit off. I don't know what side of the road it's on. Knowing Aiden, he probably put it on it. Okay, I think I got an idea. Knowing just typically how he usually deploys these, I think I have an idea of where he put it. I think I see it. Yep, I think I see it. I see the handle. It's on this fence post over here. Let me switch the camera here. Okay, yeah, it's right over there. I need to get this freaking windshield done. Alright, there's nobody out here. We're just gonna park in the middle of the freaking road. Who gives a shit at this point? Okay, let's go grab this unit. Actually, we probably throw all the fucking lights on so if we get hit, then my insurance will actually cover me. If I don't have my lights on, the insurance won't cover me, so. Yeah, it's right here. Oh, damn it, you zip tied it. Aiden, you son of a... He's making me work for this one. I gotta cut the zip ties. What the frick? Oh boy, I need a zip tie cutter or something which is buried. Oh, frickin' hell. How about a knife? Do I have a knife? Bloody hell. Aiden, you're killing me here. Oh, cripes, man. Well, I don't know what to do.
this has got to get put back together, but last night it kind of got thrown apart because, you know, what else are you going to do? You know, we needed something in a hurry. Oh, I got something. This will work. Just leave it open. Good. I can make it work. I forgot he uses zip ties instead of straps, which is fine. But I forgot. I was not prepared. This unit is still transmitting. So there we go. That's it. This unit's got a little bit bigger battery than the rest of them. I ordered the wrong one by mistake. This one will actually last like probably about 36 hours. So this is one of the legacy units where it's got the camera on top instead of the front. I'll just add it to the pile. Alright, that's all the units that were deployed. So, cool, I'm happy. And I think I accidentally left it transmitting, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to shut it off. I swear I pushed the button, but I definitely did not push the button. That's fine. I'll live. Actually, never mind. Okay, now let me get a route. What was the name of that town last night? Son of a gun. Started with an E. Shoot. Why am I, let's see, 46. We took that. It was on a county line. Enderlin. That's what it was. Enderlin.
North Dakota.
Yep. All I got was North Dakota, but yeah, Enderlin, same thing, whatever. We're gonna take a look, go down there, guys. That's where the nocturnal tornado happened. So let's go do some more investigating here. You know, and remember, folks, I don't really enjoy doing this. Like, it's really awful to go and look at everybody's stuff destroyed, but there is some things we can learn from this, right? Like, it's important to figure out where these things go, where they track, how wide they are, how strong they are, things like that. Unfortunately, the only way to really get that information is to actually, you know, go take a look. Some small tree damage up here, but I'm not worried about it. It looks like straight line wind. All right, so we got to get on the interstate and go back east a little ways. I think we mostly retrace our steps from last night, but not completely. Keep in mind, folks, this all happened about 12 hours ago. A little less. This all started to unfold at about
I think it was like 7:45 when we started getting tornadoes up here. Like, we're talking 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago, everything was normal. You know, that's how fast these people's lives changed out here last night. You know, it was 12 hours. That's it. Yeah, I'm not chasing today. There's not really much for severe weather risk. I agree with that. There's not a whole lot happening. Tomorrow there is a severe weather risk. Nebraska, eastern South Dakota, eastern North Dakota, western Mississippi, or not Mississippi, Minnesota, places like that, but nothing like what we saw last night. Yeah, those trucks there were blowed over by 90 to 100 mile per hour straight line wind. There were all sorts of backups last night. I guess they towed a bunch of vehicles off of 94, but I guess there was a bunch of semis that got blowed over. You know, and that's just kind of is a reminder, folks, that it's not just tornadoes that can be a problem. You know, when you get 80 to 90 to 100 mile per hour straight line wind, that's going to do just about as much damage as a tornado is going to do. You know, you need to be mindful of that too. I don't think we do a very good job at communicating that hazard as a whole. Day 3, it says that Monday. On Monday, it looks like we might be in eastern Iowa or central Wisconsin. But I don't think that's going to be a huge risk. That's just going to be kind of a run-of-the-mill, typical severe thunderstorm risk like we have all the time. I think we go south on Highway 1. goes south just on the west side of Valley City, kind of by where that Love's is. I remember that. Kind of all blended together, though. Kind of lost track of where we were last night. So I have gas, so I don't have to deal with that. Thank God. Coming up to where we want to exit. And then I think it's like, what, maybe a 30-minute drive? Something like that. I just, no, here's, I was gonna say, I hope I didn't just drive by the exit. Jeez, is this the route that we took last night? Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Wait a minute. No, it is. No, I took, nope. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna take 21. I want to go kind of back down the same way we came. I took 21. I didn't take 1, I took 21. Or did I? Shit. Nope, I did. It was 21 because I remember we took that 36th Street or whatever to get back up and around. So yeah, I mean, we did go down Highway 1, but we kind of backtracked up and then went back over to 21. Oh, look, that billboard got knocked over. I actually might pull back into the Loves and get something to eat for breakfast. I'm dying, and then we'll continue on. I haven't actually really eaten for like a day. Not cool. Well, no, I take that back. I had macaroni and cheese this morning. They had one like TV dinner, macaroni and cheese, like frozen TV dinner thing at the Loves, and they had a microwave, and I was like, oh my god, that's totally mine. And they're like, are you sure you want that? Because it might be partially thawed out. Because our freezers went down, we didn't have power for 3 hours. And I was like, I don't give a rat's ass if it's radioactive. I literally said, I don't give a rat's ass if it's radioactive, I'm eating it. She's like, well, are you sure? Because it's been unthawing for like 3 hours. And I'm like, it's macaroni and cheese, I'm eating it. Okay. I'm like, all right. And then they were out of forks. I had to eat it with a spoon. But I took a knife and I like gouged little chunks out of the spoon to make it like a fork. It was pretty pitiful, but it was, you know what? It was worth the $5 I spent on it. Because it was the only hot food that I could get at the time anywhere in this area. Beggars can't be choosers. I'll take it. It's one of those things that's just like, I'll take it. I did make a sport, you're right. And you know what? It worked better than those ones you get at Kentucky Fried. Well, whatever the hell that is. I think calling it Kentucky Fried Chicken is kind of a questionable. They want $3.49 for a McDonald's hash brown? What the frick? You've got to be kidding me. Didn't those things used to be 99 cents? What the hell? Do we got a tariff on hash browns now? Are you frickin' shitting me? $3.49 for a hash brown at McDonald's? What the hell is going on? Seriously, like what, we got a potato tariff now? Jesus Christ. Give me a break. What the hell's the price of a goddamn McMuffin here? Do I even want to know? Sandwiches. Oh my god. $6.49? Are you absolutely kidding me right now? No, I don't want the biscuit. I want the freaking McMuffin. Oh my god, Egg McMuffin, $5.59 for a piece of bread with some freaking scrambled egg. What in the hell has happened out here? Good God. Just get the stinking sausage McMuffin. $2.99. That's my kind of thing here. I'm not gonna sit here and go broke spending a frickin' on a McMuffin. All right, everybody. There's the Buick Encore in question from the road incident the other night. So Aiden's asleep. We're gonna leave him be. So everybody wave at Aiden. You guys can go follow his YouTube channel. He's seriously, guys. I'm obviously a little bit biased because he's part of our group. But he actually did a significant amount of work last night to try to help people out. So if you want, you can go to projectweatheri.com, and if you scroll down, you'll see a link to his stuff. He would really appreciate it. He helped a lot of people last night, and I think he's deserving of subscribing to his channel. Same thing with Connor McCrory. I wonder if, I gotta see if Connor McCrory's got a YouTube channel. I think he just does his Storm Chase TV thing with Scantlin, but I was so happy when he poked his head through the window. We had a collapsed mobile home or trailer home, and I was so happy when he poked his head through there and asked if he could help, because I'm like, oh, thank God, like, more capable people. I was so happy to see that. He's always stopped and helped, though. Like, there are good, I know we kind of talk about how a lot of chasers don't stop and do the right thing, but there's also quite a few that do stop and do the right thing. There really are, but it's disappointing that there's not more, because there should be more, honestly. Yeah, busy McDonald's, and everybody at this McDonald's just pulled into this drive-thru the second I got over here. I'm not even kidding. Like, you've got to be, like, come on, man. They are not moving a sir here either. Come on, man. Oh my god, I'm so itchy. I've got this rash. It's not herpes. It's not... I don't know. Is that... No, that's an STD. Never mind. It's not... It's just a rash, and it itches, and it's not contagious, and it's not caused by nasty stuff. It's just... It needs to be done. I'm not going to talk about my rash. That's just weird. But it frickin' itches on my leg so damn bad right now. I just want to, like... I'm debating whether or not I just want to amputate the leg. I mean, there's a chainsaw in the back, and I have a tourniquet, so, I mean, theoretically, we could probably amputate the leg and then not die. It might be very painful, but I should be able to take my leg off and not bleed out. Starting to think that might be less inconvenient than the scratching at this point. Oh boy, the comments are ripe today. No, it's not bedbug. No, definitely not. God, no. I don't even know what a bedbug looks like, and I swear to God, I hope I never find out what one is. Never, ever have I even seen one of those. Yeah, I said chiggers once, too, and somebody thought I said something else that sounds a lot like it, but starts with a different word, and then frickin' threw a damn fit about it. So I gotta be careful when I say that. It cripes people. But no, it's not chiggers. It's, if anybody knows what pityriasis rosea is or whatever, Google it. It's miserable. It's just this like full body rash that you get for no reason. And it itches. And it makes you want to like rip your skin off. It's terrible. And it lasts for like 12 weeks. And it's terrible if I haven't said that enough. I'm on like week 8. And I kind of want to just go jump off a bridge right now with a brick tied to my ankle. It's that bad. Yeah, now that everybody here is talking about how they've never seen a bed bug, now everybody's going to get bed bugs. Now we're screwed. All right, guys. Seriously, are we really going to talk about my rash? It is a skin rash that begins as a spot on the chest, belly, back, or abdomen, followed by a pattern of smaller rashes. The cause of pityriasis, whatever, isn't understood, but may be triggered by viral infections such as colds. The condition causes a widespread itchy skin rash on the trunk, upper legs, and arms, and goes away on its own. Steroid creams, blah, 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 usually lasts like 6 to 12 weeks. So there you go, people. You know all about my fucking skin rash. That's great. Yeah, I got a code. It's WQ80.
I'll be right with you.
That's fine. Cortisone cream. I think I'm immune to it at this point. I've gone through like 6 tubes of that. Food factories get bed bugs. What? Nope. We're gonna take Zyrtec. No Benadryl. I'm not gonna fall asleep. You kidding me? You're right. It does. If you run super hot showers, scalding hot water, it can affect the skin over time. I've got a mobile code. It's WQ80.
Vince?
Yep.
Give it full forward.
Okay, thanks. You're right, and I take scalding hot showers, and I'm pretty sure that I have burnt my skin at times. So yeah, that's not good. But no, so I've got, I was able to get a prescription for like super strong hydrocortisone cream or some shit, because that stuff, over-the-counter stuff, doesn't do anything. But this super strong stuff, I'm not even kidding, guys, $70 for a tube of this. $70, and I went through the tube in like 3 days. And I'm just like, yep, we're not doing this. Like, it helped, but we're not. I'm not burning $70 every 3 to 4 days for 6 weeks. That's not gonna fly. Vagisil works. I feel like that's a troll comment, but I also feel like maybe it's not. And there might be some reasoning behind that, so I'm totally gonna actually let that one go because you might not be joking. There's a South Park about that. That's a piss take. What's a piss take? Who's pissing? Guys, I appreciate all the suggestions. Nothing helps. I'm just meant to be in misery for the next several weeks. Trust me, I've tried everything. I even tried that, like, salt shit you put in bath water. Like, nothing. It just sucks. It's awful. I can take an antihistamine. See? Right here. Zyrtec. Focus. Whatever. And, you know, if anybody's familiar with gas station packets of medicine, you'll know that this right here cost me like $3 just for one freaking pill. But no, I started panicking. I damn near had an anxiety attack when I literally woke up one morning a few weeks ago and my whole body was just red and it itched. And I'm like, what the hell do I have? I'm like, is this like freaking like chicken pox 2.0 or something? So I did this stupid telehealth visit and the first lady that I talked to was like, oh, it could be anything from scabies to psoriasis to this or that or skin cancer. And I'm like, what is a scabies? She's like, oh, it's when these tiny little bugs go under your skin. And I'm just like, excuse me? I'm like, you really think it's that? She's like, well, it could be. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. So I started having an anxiety attack. I'm like, oh my God, there's bugs under my skin. No fucking way. Please no. So then I did the telehealth visit with the dermatologist, and that guy's just like, oh, it's this pityriasis, blah, whatever. It's no big deal, but the bad news is I can't do anything about it. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I think I raised a red flag because I made that comment. I said, well, can I just, like, jump off of a bridge? Like, would that be less miserable than this? And he's like, yeah, okay. And then I got a follow-up email asking me about my mental health, and I think I set off the alarm bells. I was honestly joking, you know. I didn't really intend to jump off a bridge. I just said that like I kind of felt like jumping off a bridge would be less miserable than this, but whatever. Distressed because of my work. Exactly. Have you seen the people that I have to deal with out here? Meth sores. No. However, I do probably look like a tweaker out here because like I was checking into the hotel the other night and like my arms, it gets really bad on my arms and I'm just like itching the shit out of my arms and everybody was just looking at me like I was some sort of tweaker and I'm just over there like itching the crap out of my arms. And I know somebody's going to be like, oh, don't itch it because when you itch it, it makes it worse. You know what? You're right. It makes it worse. But if I don't itch it, then I'm miserable. So we're just going to itch it and we're just going to deal with it. But thankfully, it's not bedsheet herpes. So we're all good. Tell people on the internet you have a health issue and 3,000 people will give you unprofessional advice for free. You are 100% correct. However, I feel like the people in our chat are a little bit different than like people on Reddit, because like the people in the chat are like, oh, I think I can be helpful, let me give you some information that I think is helpful. Whereas if you like go on Facebook or Twitter or Reddit and you're like, hey guys, what do you think I should do? It's people that are like, oh, you're such an idiot. It's like, oh wow, that's not what I asked, but okay. Like people over here are like helpful. Yeah, cortisone cream. Yeah, trust me, we've barked up that tree a long time ago. I did ask Grok, and Grok actually suggested that it was shingles, but I argued with Grok, and I was like, I don't think shingles cover the whole body, and it's like, oh, they can, and I'm like, no, I don't think so, but whatever. I can't believe we're talking about a rash right now. But full disclosure, folks, this rash is not like caused by an infection or disease or nastiness like that, so it's okay. That was the cash pay cost of the cream, $70. Dead serious. That was even with a coupon. Ridiculous. But yeah, that stuff didn't even really, because they gave me like 3% hydrocortisone or something, because like the over-the-counter is 1%. And it didn't really help that much. In fact, I don't even know if it helped at all. I think it was partially a placebo. Like, I put it on and I'm like, oh yeah, this totally helps, but I really don't think it did, because like 20 minutes later I was itching again. So I really just, not a whole lot helps it at any of this. Honestly, the Zyrtec actually seems to help a little bit more, because I didn't take any Zyrtec yesterday, because I can't take Benadryl because it makes you tired and stuff. Zyrtec doesn't, but it's all antihistamine. It's Zyrtec's like a stage 2 or factor 2 or whatever, version 2 antihistamine. I think it's stage 2, whatever, I don't know. Antihistamine, where Benadryl is a stage 1 or version 1 or something, which is like drowsy and doesn't last as long. See, I remember, folks, I went to school for healthcare. I do know a few things. Not many, but I know a few. I'm totally bypassing this window. But I noticed yesterday it was really bad. And I was like, God, why is this so bad? I'm like, oh, I didn't take the Zyrtec. So we are not sponsored by Zyrtec. Zyrtec constipates you. Well, that sucks. I promise, guys, as soon as we get out of here, we will go for where we're trying to go. I have no idea who this person's waving at, but they're definitely waving at somebody. Channel the subject. Stick to weather issues. Channel the subject. Channel the subject. I guess I don't get it. Channel the subject. All right, everybody, we got to channel the subject. Look at all the North Dakota license plates up there. Well, Darren, that's probably because we're in North Dakota, believe it or not. I know that was a joke. I get it. Junk food. Oh yeah, I know you're being funny. There's no way anybody would be that dumb. That was also a joke. Hold on, I gotta put my hat on. Oh fuck this shit. Sorry, freaking like Tourette's moment there.
Vince?
Yeah.
There you are. Sorry
Okay.
about the wait.
No, it's fine. All right, have a good one.
Did you see any tornadoes last night?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
What?
They're all over the place.
Yeah. That was crazy.
I know it. Have a good one. Wow, if I haven't been asked that question 17 times already this morning. You see any tornadoes? No. Like these people that come up, are you a storm chaser? No, look at the side of my fucking car. What do you think? God dang, like I never know how to answer that question. Are you a storm chaser? No, I just drive this car around for fun. Oh, God. All right, south we go, folks. Yeah, oh yeah, people all the time, oh yo, is a storm coming? What's the weather? And a lot of people don't understand that I don't know half of the time. Like so many times I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I have no clue. And they're like, what do you mean you don't know? You're a fucking storm chaser. No, I don't know. I don't pay any attention to the weather. I really don't. If it doesn't have to do with tornadoes, hail, or like storms, I really don't pay any attention. She was being friendly. I agree. But sometimes I make jokes, and, you know, that's okay. Yeah, we're going to Enderlin. You must have just joined the stream. The past 20 minutes we've been talking about a rash and McDonald's. If you go back, I kind of explain it, but yeah, we're going to Enderlin. I know we kind of took up a lot of time with the freaking McDonald's run. Wow! My, like, $12 for my freaking sandwich with a piece of sausage on it and my freaking hash brown. Wow, the sandwich is burnt. Hell yes, guys. I think I paid extra for it to be charred. I need to get the map brought up. If I remember right, we come across some damage down here. Small tree debris, but nothing crazy over here. You know, like I said, we had some really strong winds come in after the tornadoes went through, so not every tree down or roof blown off is from a tornado here. Tree down over there, uprooted. It's a big one. Holy crap. Obviously there's some decent tree debris all over the place tonight, or today, but I honestly thought there was going to be way more. I think those damaged homes are down here. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is what we came up on last night. And there's nothing gruesome about any of this. But something you're going to want to take note of is, like, look at all the people here helping these guys. We're not going to zoom in any more than this because, you know, we want to give them as much privacy as they can. But this was clearly hit by the tornado. That's our partial trailer collapse. And this is pretty much where we all started here last night. There's actually some pretty significant damage if you look at the trees and everything. that was obviously a tornado, but it was pretty localized. It wasn't a very wide tornado path. So my plan, we'll go down here and get on 46, because last night I went over and took 32 to the south, but we're going to go down to 46 because that's the way I came in last night. Going to kind of try to go the same way here, because I kind of know where everything's at. I don't have to re-find everything. But remember, folks, when I was down here, it was dark. It was pitch black. So really don't have a whole lot of familiarity with the area, even though I was here. Down there pretty quick. It's not that long of a drive. I didn't realize that we had all these hills out here. Honestly, I thought it was flat. This explains why it was so hard to see power flashes and stuff like that last night. brown's burnt too. Holy cow, this guy's out for a scenic drive. Holy smokes. A giant turkey over there. Did you see that? Got 10 miles here until we take a left. See any storm damage at all down here, like from the straight line winds or anything, but that could partially be somewhat because of the terrain. There's a lot of hills out here, and I'm sure that you've got, that kind of protects the valleys a little bit here. Yeah, I haven't seen a single branch down for a while. There were definitely strong winds that came through here. There was a 111 mile per hour wind gust reported at one point. I had no idea there were so many hills over here. Holy crap. I honestly just thought this entire state was flat. I guess I'm wrong. Down here through Catherine, there's a, like I said, what is it, State Highway 48 or 46 or something. That's what we want to take to the east. I need a ticket for my driving. Okay. Hey Todd. Go shove it up your ass. Seriously. after everything we've been through and you're bitching about my driving where there's literally no other cars around, you can honestly stick that sofa up your butt and it comes out your nose. I'm so done with you people and your cancel culture. So screw you, Todd. Sincerely me and everybody else that's watching that can't stand you for saying dumbass shit like that. To have hills to have a valley. Yeah, that's some deep thought right there. You could put that on a inspirational poster. Seriously, you should put that on a t-shirt or something. Somebody would buy it. I'm not even being a smart ass. Like I am being sarcastic, but I'm also not. Like somebody absolutely would buy that. You have to have hills to have a valley. Like I'm sure there's some like motivational connection you can make in there. I don't know. Yeah, Nebraska's got a lot of I like the sand hills. I think it's really pretty, but yeah, it's hard to describe the hills and the terrain in Nebraska unless you've been there because, like, yeah, they're hills, but I don't know, like when when you're parked on the side of the road and you're looking out like over the lower terrain and it's just like hill after hill after hill, like it's kind of weird. I mean, it's pretty, but like you almost have to see it to make sense of it. Yeah, Nebraska is honestly a very pretty state. I do like Nebraska a lot. This guy is absolutely on a scenic drive. We're doing like 42 miles an hour. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just saying, holy crap. This guy is in even less of a hurry, that's for sure. Yeah, you're probably right. That is a very old Ford Ranger. It might honestly not make it up these hills any faster. You might very well be correct. But yeah, no, seriously, I don't know if I've ever driven out in this corner of the state. I don't spend much time in North Dakota at all. Like, I've chased maybe 10 times in 10 years up here. Like, I just don't I mean, there's storms and tornadoes up here, but it's not as frequent as it is elsewhere. So it's kind of rare for me to be up here.
Ashley ambulance, please respond to 8350 79th Street Southeast. Ashley, this Gallon resident for a 63-year-old female who is not responding. She is breathing and conscious. She is a cancer patient who received radiation treatment yesterday. She is unable to move. Acknowledge Gate State Radio East 28.
This guy is going to turn left. Like, I just know it. I really hope he turns right. I really hope he doesn't turn left. Please don't turn left. Oh, he's turning left. I knew it. Oh well. I'm over it. All right, now here we go again. We got a little bit of ways to go here yet, maybe 10 minutes. We might come across some tornado damage prior. I don't really know where all the tornado paths are. I didn't even have any idea that we were coming up on a tornado path when we did, so. We might come across something down here. There, my God, it's a good thing that we didn't have a tornado hit that campground. Holy cow, that would have been bad on a Friday night. That probably would not have been good. Sure was busy. This guy sped up. He found the gas pedal. Oh, he's bogging down. Buddy, I can't get by you now. Well, whatever. Oh, no, we're gonna make it. This is a hell of a hill. Holy crap. God, it kind of annoys me when people do that, though. Wait till the last second to slow down. It's like, why? we had, 90 mile an hour, well, over 100 mile per hour wind reported in some locations. I'm honestly really kind of surprised that we don't have more widespread tree damage. But I mean, there were. I remember seeing 111 mile per hour wind gust report at like 1 o'clock in the morning, which is nuts. To cross 32. I'm pretty sure 32 is the
Maricourt Tower, this is 6216, we are en route.
I'm pretty sure that Highway 32 up here is what we came down on. The next road is State Highway 32. Yep, so I came off of this road to the left, right here. And then we drove east, and unfortunately, some of the worst damage that the only damage that I actually got to was right up here. Thankfully, it's got a long driveway, so we're not going to have to worry about sensitive audiences or anything, but I want to make a pass through here. Understand we're not going to go walking through people's lawns, but I just want to make a drive through here just to kind of get the lay of the land. Maybe we might even make a pass, maybe 2 passes. I just kind of want to see, like how far east this went. Isn't that the dry now? It's possible I went down farther than I thought I did. I'm pretty sure that's... Oh no, we got a little ways yet. No, I came down off of 11, I think. Yeah, I came down off of 11. Yeah, Tower City is where I got off at. Okay, yeah, so never mind. We're not where I thought it was. We're like 5 miles before then. We got a little ways yet. Alright, I had those 2 roads confused, but that's fine. That's fine. probably on the ground somewhere over here. We will take a pass up this road to the left because I think no, never mind. No, that might have been separate. This tornado either spun up right very close or something because there's not much of a damage path leading up to where it hit these houses. So I don't know if it just spun up over top or if it was just down in the fields because there's no crops really. Hello? Hi, can I call you back in a little bit? Okay, alright, I love you. Bye. I don't know, there's no crops really in these fields. It's not like when you've got a cornfield and it's real easy to be like, oh, hey, yeah, look at that, there's a big damage path right in the middle of the field. It's pretty much an empty field. I mean, they might have been planted, but still, you're not, even a strong tornado, it's not obvious unless you're looking from the air or you're, walking through it. So, it's hard to locate these damage paths. Obviously, unless there's something there for it to hit, take this into this little town and check some of these back roads. I actually don't see a whole lot of tree damage. That's, really there's not a whole lot of trees out here. I mean, you've got patches of trees, but it's not like it's a forested area. That's the other thing too, if you've got a lot of trees, well then it can be obvious. We'll take a couple of these back roads north and see if we can weed anything out, because I really kind of want to see if we can put the pieces of this damage path together. Power. This gas station's got their sign on, so I mean, that's a start. Yeah, I wasn't sure what the power situation was going to be like down here because there was a lot of power pole damage from what I've been told. Just all over the place. Looks like this little town's got power. small tree debris, but like, I just kind of assumed that this tornado must have started farther back to the west, but maybe not. I don't think any of these tornadoes, and you know, I might be wrong. I haven't looked a whole lot. You know, I've got tunnel vision with this whole event. But I don't think any of these tornadoes were terribly long-lived. I think we had a bunch of like 5-10 minute tornadoes of even, but I think there were a couple in succession, but I don't think we had like a long-lived, long-track tornado. Not to my knowledge. Maybe there was, but not that I know of, so not 100% sure on that. Yeah, there's some of that power pole damage I was talking about. I saw this last night. I think this might be where one of the tornadoes started. So you got all these lines down, and you can kind of see a hole in the trees back up here, kind of. There's nothing off to my right, though. So I don't know. Maybe this. I think this might be where it spun up. To be honest with you, it's possible it spun right up, right there, maybe. North on that road, there's some power pole damage. We might take a look at it depending on what we find here, but there was some really big power lines down across the road, like some pretty significant, like high voltage lines or some shit. Here's the significant damage, folks, from last night. One thing you need to notice is how stripped the trees are. Like, they're literally stripped of bark. This was a very strong, if not violent, tornado. I can confidently say that. If we take a north option here, which we don't have a north option for a minute, but if we go north, we should cross the path. This was a violent tornado. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I understand there's an F rating and everything, and the weather service this, weather service that, but the amount of I shouldn't say the amount. The void, literally the void of some of the things that should be there. You had to have a violent EF4 to EF5 tornado to do it. homes that were wiped clean off the foundation. I mean, literally wiped completely clean off of the foundation. I mean, that's not a weak tornado, guys. It's a violent tornado, and it's really unfortunate. It's very sad. Yeah, there's some people cutting this tree. Maybe we can help these people cut this tree up. I'll run up there and see if they want some help cutting that. I think that's what they're doing. Where's my gloves? I'm not backing up for you, dude. You can figure it out. Alright. Yeah, backing.
I'm up.
Now this guy's going... What are you doing, buddy? Okay. Interesting. Whatever. I think they might... Are they done cutting it? Oh yeah, they're done cutting it. I don't know. I guess that's as far as they want to cut it. Whatever. Okay, he's got it like cut except for one piece, so whatever. Alright, well he's got that handled, I guess. Find our damage path probably maybe a half. It might be a mile up here because that thing was kind of moving northeast at this point in its life. Trees on the left, but they're back in the woods a bit. You know, again, I don't know how long this tornado tracked. I know that it was violent for a period of time here, but it looks like it must have come through here in some capacity because we've got a bunch of tree branches here. These homes and buildings are okay though, so I don't know. Maybe this thing wasn't on the ground that long. I don't know. So I don't see any... We'll flip around and make another pass through here, but I don't see any major tree damage. Alright, we'll flip around. Go just a little bit up farther, just in case.
Railroad. I did locate the person who's flying the drone. He's already wrapped up. He's going to be leaving here soon. He's just videos to their post, so I'll be clear.
Yeah, there's something up here. Looks like a bunch of trees snapped. Let's make a pass here. This is 52nd Street. This is... I talked to somebody that lived up here last night, actually. But look at these trees over here. I know the quality stuff, but see, we've got all those trees snapped off. So, must have been moving... Oops. This thing must have been moving a little bit more north than we thought. Honestly. think you can fit 2 people over this bridge. All right, he's gonna let us go. Come on. Oh yeah, we can. All right, I thought this was gonna be a 1-lane bridge, but that's all right. Barely a 2-lane bridge, though. That's for sure. Up the hill. This goes back to that main road, and this will be kind of where that power line damage was that I was talking about. And then we'll make a pass back through. Oh yeah, there's a lot of trees snap. Like even up here, this is all pretty minor. But off to the left, which I can't really get the camera spun over there, and there's a bunch of trees snap, but we'll be going by that on the main road up here, so just hold on to that thought. And then it looks like it's pretty substantial building damage. Oh, that's really sad. So we got that house over there. God damn it, hang on. I'm so sick and tired of this shit getting caught. God damn it. This is ridiculous. But we got this house. Alright, I'm sorry guys. I am a one-man show. I am incredibly tired. I'm trying my best. I had no idea the mic got fucked up. God dang it. But what I was saying basically was we're up here. That significant damage to residents with fatalities was down here. So this tornado was moving damn near north. If we're up here with damage and that other damage was here, that means it was moving probably damn near north. And yeah, we don't have any more damage down there, so I really think that this thing was kind of moving more north than anything. Which is kind of surprising, not gonna lie. It's not really what I expected to see. But yeah, there's a lot of snapped off trees.
Yeah, I remember from last night vividly. It was moving northeast.
Yeah, this is almost like sharp, straight north. I didn't really expect that.
Yeah, it was really interesting. The storm's general motion was easterly. It was just moving east, but as it started to occlude, it moved really hard to the north. It would be an eastward component.
Yeah, I don't think any of these were really that long track, to be honest. It's kind of like they just cycled and that was it, but they were strong while they were down.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be long trackers, but while they were down, they were intense.
Because even with those first more, those pretty tornadoes that we had, they weren't down on the ground very long. All right, so we're moving south on 38, which is also 139th Avenue. We'll make make another left up here. Retrace our steps one more time. That's one thing to kind of take note also, folks, is you know the storm was moving northeast, and the tornado warning, the text, the information in the tornado warning said the storm is moving northeast. Well, let's just say that it says, the tornado is located at where we're at right now, this T intersection of 38 and 46, and it says the storm is moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. Well, the storm was moving northeast. The tornado was not moving northeast. And there's no way, that's not the Weather Service's fault. I'm not saying that. There's really no way to give that sort of pinpoint accuracy information and have it constantly change. It's not possible. These tornadoes change their track every second sometimes, but that's why, just because the tornado might be 5, 10, 15 minutes away and it's not coming directly at you, but if you're still in that tornado warning, you still need to do something. That's why the tornado warning polygon, the box, the red box, is always a little bit bigger than it needs to be to account for that error and to account for those unexpected movements in the tornado path. Like, I think this is a really good example of that, because here we've got a tornado that was progged to be moving northeast. Well, it was actually, the storm was moving northeast, but the tornado was moving north within the storm. And that's such a small detail. Like, that's really hard to track by radar, and it changes so much. So, like, that's why you can't get fixated on the details here, so to speak. Unfortunately, I can tell you a lot about the property we just passed.
I'm 1039 on Highway 46, westbound, at about mile marker 95, and can I have you run a 27 and a 28 when you're ready?
Fortunately, I can tell you a lot about that property, but what I will tell you is there was a two-story home there, and we don't know where the two-story home went.
05, David Nora Boy.
I have no idea. It's gone.
27 will be in North Dakota OLN.
It's completely gone.
Edward Ida 749397.
It's just it's gone. I don't know where the house is. It's out in the field, like 5 miles away. Two-story house, and it's just gone. washing machine dryer a quarter mile away in the field. It's awful. So just remember these things, you know, when these storms come for you. You know, I understand most of the time it's a false alarm, but it's not always. It's not worth the risk. I understand the false alarms are annoying, but it's just not worth the risk. I'm gonna look down this road. If that guy is still cutting that tree, we'll go help him. But it looked like he literally had one branch to cut on it. Oh yeah, he's done. That thing's out of the road. All right. Well, I really don't want to be here anymore, so we're gonna go east. I don't know if there was anything off to the east, but we'll keep the camera rolling for just a little bit longer. Because I don't know if we come across anything up here or not. From what I was told on a phone conference this morning that I was very privileged to be part of, a lot of respect from the local public safety. And that's one thing I want to say, the local emergency management stuff is really included me and my organization in the debriefing and the follow-up that occurred this morning, and I really appreciated that. There was a lot of professional courtesy there. From what I was told, every family's aware, but no, the two people in that property that I was just talking about, they're unfortunately they're not here anymore. So just keep that in mind, people, when it comes to your next tornado warning, because I get it. We're, you know, the weatherman's always wrong. Like, I get it. We are wrong a lot, but not always, and it's just not worth it. I think there was another tornado. It had to have been a different one. There was another tornado or something up here. There were people talking about power lines being down across the road because there was a cop. Like I said, I don't know if he was the undersheriff or the chief deputy or what the hell he was, but he came from home and he was like the first one to come out here and give me and us some assistance. And he hit a power line out here and screwed up his car, I guess, on the way. I guess it was hanging across the road and he didn't know it was there or something. I mean, I've been there, done that, so I don't know that. I think that might have been farther down, but it's hard to keep track. We need to go back up County Highway or Highway 7 there. There was a bunch of tree damage. We need to go look at that. That's a pretty victimless thing, you know. It's nothing, no harm in taking a look at the tree damage, so. I don't want, screw him, he's way back there. He doesn't let this guy by, but he's way back there. I think we actually had a couple tornadoes in the same area. I think there were like 3 or 4 of them in this little like area here. From the sounds of it, there might have been 2 down at the same time, actually. A lot of trees just snapped off up here, so we need to go look at that. We can kind of learn a lot. This has to be a separate tornado. We're like 2 miles east of that other damage path. This has to be a separate one, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I'm not an expert here at surveying storm damage, but this has to be a separate one. I don't know how it couldn't be. But the important thing to note here is how the trees are like shredded and they're just snapped off. They're not debarked. When the wind is really strong, it just pulls the bark off of them. But still, these are like snapped and shredded. So it takes a lot to do that. So this was still a strong tornado over here. I'm gonna move this off the road. Like, there's a branch. I'm gonna move this off the road. Like, somebody's gonna hit it. Okay. Yeah, somebody was going to hit that and take out their radiator and have an even worse day than they're probably already having, so. Yeah, this is Highway 7, it looks like, going north.
Argo 366, could you create me an AOG event at 14241 52nd Street Southeast in rural Cass County, north of Enderlin? They had a report of shots fired, a couple groups of shots. I think sheriff thought it was possibly somebody putting down cattle, but they requested assistance in the area. Roads are not very well marked here. I need to turn around. That was the road I needed to take to the east. So I just wanted to see if there was anything down that road. City 222.
Minimum maintenance road. Yeah, I think they kind of all are, aren't they? Could be wrong.
222 Valley City.
whole lot here. You know, there are a couple branches and stuff down, but. Got anything out this way? I'm on some minimum maintenance road just north of 46. Back to 46. Definitely not gone because we just drove through there, so I can assure you it's still there. Definitely there. We drove through there. They even got their power back on, which is helpful for them. I mean, it's bad enough to handle some, especially when it's. I don't know if it's supposed to be hot today, but like yesterday it was so stinking hot. Yeah, it says high of 88 today. We're up to 73 degrees, and it's only 9:30 in the morning. So give some of these people some air conditioning while they try to clean up, kind of thing. Like, it would be really awful if they had not have power. I mean, I'm sure there's areas around here that don't have power, but like when we were going through town, the gas station had power. The Dollar General was open, so I mean. At least there's something, like there's some normal operations going on here to help people, you know. All right, I got a couple cars I gotta wait for here. I go now? Okay.
Alongside, it says a two of them there. 902 College Street North.
Yeah, there are some really nice people that live here. Found that out last night, so I agree with that. So, all right, folks. With that said, we are honestly going to wrap this up because I honestly really don't. I really don't want to be out here anymore right now, and I will say the only positive thing that came out of this, unfortunately, it's at the expense of innocent people, but the positive out of this is, you know, these tornadoes didn't hit Fargo, you know, they didn't hit town, they didn't hit these little community centers head on, you know, they kind of were on the outskirts of a lot of this. Yeah, they hit houses, they killed people, but that could have been times 10 or times 20 or times 100 if it had hit a more populated area, like something up on I-94, something over on I-29, if they would have been farther off to the west and hit like Jamestown. I mean, this wasn't a good situation by any means, but it also could have been worse. And it's really unfortunate because, you know, I have a strong feeling that people didn't really know that this was going to be this bad. I mean, I didn't. A lot of us kind of thought everything was not going to happen yesterday, and that was a reasonable thing to think given the parameters, but, you know, it wasn't one of those typical severe weather outbreak days. Like, yesterday was just different. You know, I know people probably had a good idea, oh, it's getting stormy out, but this was happening late at night. You know, a lot of people really not, the weather is kind of the last thing they're paying attention to at 11 o'clock on a Friday night, so we have to remember that, you know, and it's very important to use this as an example of being better prepared for these things. Not that the people that were impacted were not prepared. I'm definitely not saying that. It's just we need to give our best effort in being somewhat prepared for these things, because it never affects you until it does. You know, I say this a lot where everyone's always like, oh, it never happens here. You're right. It never happens here until it does. And you can't say that anymore. You know, a couple years ago, a tornado came very close to my house. A pretty significant tornado came very close to my house in February in Wisconsin. That never happened up until now in recorded weather history. So up until 2 years ago, I could say, oh, we never get tornadoes at home. Well, we never did until we got one at home. You know, in 1960 or whenever the hell the Palm Sunday outbreak, the town that I grew up in and lived in for like the first 18 years of my life, that town got smoked and damn near wiped off the map by a tornado in that Palm Sunday outbreak in Monroe, Wisconsin. Like, right through the middle of town, huge tornado, like an F4 or something, I don't know. Or no, that was before ratings, but I think it would have been, it was like equivalent to, you get what I'm saying. But huge destructive tornado. Well, that hasn't happened since the Palm Sunday outbreak in the 60s. But it happened in the 60s, so why couldn't it happen now? It could happen this year. It could happen 10 years from now. Like, because nobody's immune to these. I don't care if your neighbor's grandpa said, oh, we don't get the tornadoes here because of the river. That's all bullshit. I mean, maybe but guys, seriously, like it's never you, and it never happens to you until it happens to you, and someday it very well could happen to you. So just take that and do what you're going to do with it. I think this was an important reality check for a lot of people. You know. So I'm going to get out of here. It is time to be done with this. And I would expect a storm chase of some sort tomorrow. I'm not really sure where. But you can expect a tornado or a storm chase tomorrow. Oh yeah, if your parents live near Barneville, you probably know all about that disaster. So yeah, we had a significant tornado go through Stoughton, and I think it was 2005 or 2007. I don't remember which, but that half of town's all brand new. Well, I guess it's not really brand new; it's 20 years old. But you can tell where that tornado went because that part of town is all newer construction compared to the rest of it. So. I hope everybody has a really good afternoon, good evening, and all that. And I hope everybody takes care. I'll see if I can get an update put out later today. But until then, I'm out of here. And we will be back tomorrow.
Thank you.